Clefs and pitch notation. Clefs show us where a particular pitch appears on a staff. It says something like this line is an F3 or this line is a C4. Because once you know where one letter is, you can extrapolate the whole letter system onto your staff. Once you know where the F is, you know where the G is, and you know where the A is, and so on. Now, early on, letter names were placed on the staff. In the medieval era, you see something like a C being placed next to a line, and then you know that that's a C. And these letter names became the clefs. There are clefs that show you where C is, where F is, where G is, but the most prominent ones ended up being the ones that show you where F3 and G4 are. Here's what early G clefs and F clefs looked like. They were just letters on the staff, but then these develop over time into what we see used now. This sort of swirly G clef and the backwards C F clef. In principle, you can put these wherever you want on the staff, but these positions became very standardized after the 1700s. Specifically here. And their common names become the treble clef, which is the G clef with the G4 on the second line, so it shows you where G4 is, and the F clef with F3 on the fourth line. This is called the bass clef. Tricks to remembering where all of the letters are. You can look over the internet and find plenty of these, but the spaces on the G clef spell out F-A-C-E, they spell out face. The spaces on the bass clef spell out all cars eat gas, or A, C, E, and G. Every good boy does fine. Every good boy deserves fudge. These are other ones. Those are the lines of the treble clef. And then the lines of the bass clef are good burritos don't fall apart. But notice how in this example, the treble clef and the bass clef are connected together. And this is the grand staff. The grand staff combines these two clefs to allow for a larger range, all the way from C2 way at the bottom to C6 way at the top. And so the treble and bass clefs are connected with a bracket in the grand staff to create one large double staff. The grand staff combines these two clefs to allow for a larger range, but in the middle you have C4. One ledger line above the bass clef is C4, one ledger line below the treble clef is C4. And this is one reason that C4 is called middle C. This grand staff is usually used when writing for piano, since it accompanies much of the piano's range. And in this example, you can see how that lines up with a piano keyboard, again with middle C, one of the most middle notes of the piano, being right in the middle of the staff.